I have a bunch of questions. They're going to be brief. I appreciate that it's a complex topic, but I'd ask if you could keep your responses equally brief. The first thing I'd like to just touch on with you is the Canada Revenue Agency developed Charlie the chatbot, and Charlie the chatbot did a really bad job. And his reliability, or its reliability, certainly did not meet minimum service standards or the expectations of Canadians who have to get it right to the penny when they deal with CRA, but the chatbot didn't even get it right half of the time with the advice it gave. Do you have are you drawing from this lessons that you are going to apply to the use of AI in its rollout across the federal public service or the government?
Yeah, I appreciate the question. Yeah, I'm obviously aware of how our government is scaling the use of AI across departments and agency. There is an effort to drive transformation across government and support a more efficient public service so we can serve Canadians better. And of course, AI is meant to serve public servants, and we have Can Chat and GC Translate. I will say that the Treasury Board Secretariat has a public register of hundreds of government uses of AI. When something is not functioning as it should, obviously there are specific measures to make sure that action is taken to serve Canadians more accurately and in a better fashion. Absolutely.
So Minister, but just for clarity, this cost taxpayers $18 million, and 66% of the time it provided incorrect information to tax filers. Acceptable, unacceptable?
I think every moment the government serves Canadians, Canadians demand the highest standards and the highest form of efficiency. And I will say I know the Treasury Boards and PSPC has rigorous regulations and rules about how they procure and the standards, and absolutely meeting the high standards is the expectation of Canadians in any department. And so, working to improve that is core.
Minister, you'd say 34% accuracy is not acceptable.
I would say the goal for any use of any technology is to make sure that we serve Canadians with the highest accuracy level and the highest efficiency.
I wouldn't say that was the most efficient way to say that getting the answer right 34% of the time is unacceptable. And you can have the opportunity to say that in your next response. We've seen that the government is going to take a move to reduce the access to information for Canadians by limiting the retention of instant messages and email messages. We saw in the ArriveCan scandal that key actors simply just deleted files. We've seen that departments are taking years to respond to access to information requests. What commitment or guarantee are you prepared to make that all of the audit trails and that in fact audit trails will be part of the integration and rollout of any AI systems in the government? Are you prepared to make that commitment today?
Yeah, it's a great question. And again, I want to say two things about how both the Treasury Board functions under this and Mr. Ali functions under this. All procurement and all the regulations are followed rigorously to make sure there's transparency and accountability in our communication and in how these any procurement and any use of this technology will function.
So, for example, how much time do I have, Chair? 2 minutes. For example, when an email is sent, there should be the opportunity for access to information requests to be made, but that happens from person to person. If there's simply work product being generated through an AI system, there's no paper trail of how we got to the end result. And if the end result is simply printed out on a piece of paper at an office, but the audit trail is disappeared instantly or after 15 days, obviously that doesn't provide the level of transparency that Canadians would look to have and look to get. For example, by either getting the information through an ATIP, through an inquiry of ministry, or by asking individuals to appear before parliamentary committees. We don't have that option with AI, unless that is that you would be responsible personally for coming to see us every time we had a question about an AI system?
Let's make sure. Again, I appreciate the question. Just a couple of, to make sure that we're clear, all records of business value are retained. Okay? Obviously, records that are transitory are not retained. They're transitory in nature. Again, we follow all the rules in terms of our record keeping. And when we're making a decision about procurement, as Treasury Board will, we're following the guiding principles across all of that. I will say that Treasury Board work does have some principles on the automated decision system making and guides for generative AI usage.
Minister,
so there are guidelines on that.
Minister, can we expect new rules and public consultations on what that's going to look like with respect to deepfakes and how we're going to protect children from the use of sexually exploitive and non-consensual image creation through AI systems?
Need a very, very quick response.
It's an excellent question. Absolutely. We already have a bill that's tabled by the Justice Minister because we believe that would make it a criminal offense to share sexually explicit deepfake imagery. We'd love to have support on that.
Thank you,
and I have
Minister.
lots more to say about
Madame
deepfakes.
Lapointe.